Hi, my name is Justin Lara, and this is my presentation for a flight from Cheyenne to Rapid City. For this trip, me and a buddy are flying from Cheyenne to Rapid City. Our departure time is 8:30 due to my friend's work schedule. I have plenty of recent hours and I have the proficiency to complete this flight successfully. I have never flown in South Dakota, but I don't think this should be much of an issue. Because this trip is being done at night, I use VORs for navigation to supplement my visual points used for dead reckoning. I tried to pick points that would be lit up, such as highways and airports. I chose to make the flight at 9,500 feet given our eastbound route. I might choose a lower altitude during the day, but because it is difficult to see unlit terrain at night and I am unfamiliar with the terrain in the area, I'd like to keep myself well above it. To help with traffic separation, especially since the flight is being completed at night, I will make sure to pick up flight following. For the pre-flight process, I used a Paved Checklist along with other mnemonic devices to make sure I don't miss any important components. The first letter P is for pilot. The I'm Safe checklist helps ensure I am okay to make the flight given multiple variables. I am not sick and haven't used any drugs or medications. Some factors that might affect stress are I am behind in all my classes and I'm trying to get caught up with enough time to study for my commercial written test next week. I have not had any drinks within 8 hours of the flight and have no hangover side effects. I have had many late nights recently in order to complete coursework, but made sure to get some sleep before the flight. I ate throughout the day and should have the necessary nutrients for my brain to function properly. As previously stated, while I am proficient in terms of hours, I am flying to airports and in airspace that I am unfamiliar with. The second part of the paved checklist is A for airplane. There are multiple checklists that must be completed to ensure the airplane is airworthy. The plane has all the required documents to include the airworthiness certificate, registration, operating handbook, and weight and balance. All the maintenance, including the annual 100-hour transponder and ELT inspections, have been completed. An oil change was also done recently. All the required equipment for both VFR day and night, as prescribed by 91205, are working. This includes the anti-collision lights, tachometer, oil pressure gauge, airspeed indicator, oil temperature gauge, fuel quantity indicator, altimeter, magnetic compass, ELT, safety belts, fuses, position indicator lights, and a source of electricity. I am very comfortable with the Cessna 172 and the G1000. Also associated with the aircraft is weight and balance. I am starting the flight with 40 gallons of fuel. We'll use roughly 8 pounds of fuel for the startup, taxi, and run-up per the POH, and will burn 17.4 gallons in flight. On board in the front seats is myself weighing 170 pounds and my friend weighing 160 pounds. In the back seat is a 10-pound bag. In the baggage compartment A is 50 pounds of luggage, and in baggage compartment B is a 5-pound box. With this weight and fuel burn, we are well within the envelope. The V in the paved checklist for environment. There are multiple taxiway and runway NOTAMs for both airports. At Cheyenne, taxiway Delta, Golf, Bravo 3, Bravo 4, Bravo 6, Bravo 7, and part of Bravo and Charlie are closed. Runway 927 is also closed. At Rapid City, holding sign lights on Alpha 1, Alpha, and Alpha 7 are out of service, and runway markings on runway 5, 2, 3 are faded. There are no known air traffic control delays. Cheyenne has an operable 6,690 foot runway, and Rapid City has a 8,701 and a 3,601 foot runway. Alternates can be used are Hot Springs and Chadron. Just north of Rapid City is Ellsworth Air Force Base that probably shouldn't be used if it could be helped, but it's an option in case of an emergency, including the 17.4 gallons of fuel burned, 5 gallons for a half hour of reserves, an additional 5 gallons for personal minimums. We need a minimum of 27.4 gallons. A short field takeoff at Cheyenne rounding up to 2,400 pounds with a 6,010 foot pressure altitude and a 20 degrees Celsius would require 1,500 feet for the ground roll and 2,610 feet to clear a 50-foot obstacle. For landing at Rapid City, rounding to a pressure altitude of 3,500 and a temperature of 35 degrees, we will need 677 feet for the ground roll and 1,497 feet to clear a 50-foot obstacle. We'll have plenty of fuel to make the flight and have plenty of runway to make both takeoff and landing. In terms of the weather, it gets a little dicey. We are planning on taking off at 20:30 local time, which translates to 02:30 Zulu. Thunderstorms in the vicinity of Rapid City are forecasted until 0000, which is 1800 local. Thunderstorms should no longer be a problem when we are planning to get there. However, a forecast is never for sure, and it's a little too close for comfort. Additionally, there are forecasted scattered clouds at 3,500 that we will be descending through. While scattered clouds might not be an issue during the day, clouds are often difficult to see at night, especially over dark terrain, and getting caught in one is very possible. And these are the airport diagrams for both Cheyenne and Rapid City. These are the chart supplements. Both towers will be open when we're in their airspace. Cheyenne has multiple taxiway closures discussed in the chart supplement as well. Rapid City has a few points that the tower can't see. Ellsworth Air Force Base, 6.5 miles northwest of the field, could be mistaken for Rapid City. A major external pressure to complete this flight is the anticipation my friend and I have for this trip. Seeing Mount Rushmore is high on both of our bucket lists. To mitigate this hazard, I will plan on alternate means of transportation to Mount Rushmore or have a backup day planned in case of the event. A no-go decision must be made. While the thunderstorms should hopefully no longer be a factor, it's too close to our time of departure to be an acceptable risk. Thunderstorms are one of the biggest hazards to general aviation, and a forecast could easily be off by a few hours. Additionally, the scattered clouds alone present a risk, as clouds are often difficult to see at night. While this hazard can be mitigated by picking up a pop-up IFR clearance, the risks associated with a thunderstorm cannot.